We have to understand that marriage is never 50-50. And, you sort of wonder how that idea kind of got out there.
At 61, Michelle Obama is stepping into a new chapter, one that few ever saw coming. Once the rock-solid half of America's most admired power couple, she now navigates life in a way that is both unexpected and inspiring. Gone are the days of White House formality, replaced with a reality that's redefining her legacy in ways no one imagined. What does her life look like now? Has she embraced a new path, or is there a hidden story behind her reinvention? From lavish retreats to deep personal transformations, Michelle's world has taken a surprising turn. But beneath the surface lies a truth that will leave you speechless. What really happened after everything changed? Get ready to see Michelle Obama like never before, because her journey is far from over. Watch till the end. You won't believe what she's up to now. Life after the White House. Michelle Obama redefined her public role, embracing a path that blends advocacy, storytelling, and personal empowerment. No longer confined by the expectations of a First Lady, she has curated a legacy that is deeply personal yet widely influential, using her voice to connect with people on a more intimate level. Her post-White House years have been marked by an unfiltered approach to sharing her experiences. Through her writing and public engagements, Michelle has reflected candidly on motherhood, marriage, and the challenges of balancing personal ambition with public duty. She has been open about the complexities of life after the White House, discussing everything from adjusting to a quieter routine to rediscovering her own identity outside the framework of political life. In addition to her public appearances, she takes an active part in the dialogues concerning well-being, both physical and mental. With a continued emphasis on health and balance, Michelle uses her platform to advocate a comprehensive approach to personal wellness, including self-care, resilience, and authenticity. She has encouraged everyone to put well-being first in ways that extend beyond policy and into everyday life, whether discussing mental health's influence on relationships or her fitness path. Though she firmly declared her indifference to running for any office, Michelle remains one of the most credible voices in leadership and activism. Through her global events, keynote speeches, and discussions on social justice, her standing as the most prominent voice of advocacy for change has been further cemented. Now, even beyond her days in the White House, Michelle Obama is still maximizing her reach, while also redefining how public figures communicate to their audiences, choosing transparency, relatability, and empowerment to be guiding principles in her endeavors. Before Michelle Obama became a global icon and best-selling author, she was a young girl with big dreams, a relentless drive, and a journey that would shape the powerhouse we know today. Michelle's life before politics. Michelle Obama was born Michelle LaVaughn Robinson in Chicago, Illinois, and raised in a close-knit working-class family. She grew up in the South Side of Chicago, in a small upstairs apartment with her parents, Fraser and Marion Robinson, and her older brother, Craig. Her parents emphasized the importance of education, hard work, and integrity, values that would shape her future. Despite their modest means, the Robinsons ensured that their children had access to the best educational opportunities, fostering a love for learning and excellence in young Michelle. Academically gifted from early childhood, Michelle skipped the second grade and later graduated from Whitney M. Young Magnet High School, which is Chicago's first magnet school for gifted students. Highly disciplined and driven, she traveled almost 2 hours each day to receive an excellent education. Good grades and remarkable leadership won her admission to Princeton University, where she majored in sociology with a minor in African American studies. Within the largely white atmosphere of Princeton, Michelle coped with the different challenges of being one of the few black students on campus, yet remained resolute in her focus on writing her senior thesis on the plight of black students at predominantly white institutions. After graduating from Princeton in 1985, Michelle continued her studies at Harvard Law School, one of the most prestigious law schools in the country. Working with legal aid at the university enabled her to serve marginalized communities in the promotion of social justice. She graduated in 1988 with a Juris Doctor, J.D., and returned to Chicago to begin her legal career, working in marketing and intellectual property law at Sidley Austin. It was at that firm that Michelle was asked to mentor a summer associate named Barack Obama. Although she was initially hesitant to date a colleague, she quickly found herself drawn to his intellect, charisma, and his desire for change. Though she was making a fine living, Michelle started feeling like there was more to life than just working behind the scenes in corporate America. And she eventually left her law firm for a job in Chicago city government, working on community development and on initiatives for public education and job training. Leadership roles in organizations like Public Allies, where she ran programs to help at-risk youth become leaders, and at the University of Chicago, where she promoted community engagement. Even before she ever set foot on the national scene, Michelle Obama had a pretty palpable commitment to impact, the groundwork for her future as First Lady of the United States. Meeting Michelle Obama met Barack Obama in 1989 when she was working as an associate at the prestigious law firm Sidley Austin, LLP, in Chicago. At the time, she was assigned to mentor a promising summer associate, Barack Obama, a Harvard law student known for his intellect and charisma. Initially, Michelle was hesitant about pursuing a romantic relationship with him, as she wanted to maintain professionalism and had doubts about dating someone she worked with. However, Barack's confidence, ambition, and deep sense of purpose eventually won her over. Their first date, which included a trip to the Art Institute of Chicago and a movie, Do the Right Thing, marked the beginning of a lifelong partnership built on shared values and mutual respect. As their relationship deepened, Michelle and Barack supported each other's professional and personal aspirations. While Michelle was transitioning from corporate law to community-focused work, Barack was finding his path in public service, eventually working as a civil rights attorney and lecturer at the University of Chicago Law School. They both shared a passion for social justice, education, and uplifting underserved communities, which became a core part of their bond. Despite their demanding careers, they made time for each other and built a strong foundation of love and partnership. Michelle has often spoken about how Barack's calm, visionary nature complemented her practicality and discipline, making them a strong team both at home and at work. The couple got married on October 3, 1992, in a lovely city, Chicago. Among the most present for the marriage was Craig Robinson, the brother of Michelle. A close friend of Obama officiated the marriage. It was a marriage lived with love and strife, the greatest strife surrounding their marriage being when Barack made their lives even tougher by pursuing a really intense career in politics, while Michelle had to juggle work and family. Barack initially flew out and was in the limelight as he climbed the political ladder from an Illinois state senator to a U.S. senator. He had to raise their daughters, Malia and Sasha, while his wife lived under the glare of televisions at home. Thus, Michelle lived between being a dedicated wife, mother, and committed career person, working for nonprofits and hospital administration. In those early days of their marriage, Michelle and Barack faced similar problems as compared to any couple: their work, family, personal aspirations. It really greased their marriage, according to her, with a lot of work, communication, and compromise, since it would have likely flown off the handle with Barack's political career. Yet the respect that they had for one another and their shared vision of being agents of change acted as the magnetic pull for them into each other's orbits. It was in fast evolution as the presidential ticket for Barack that Michelle was there beside him in support, while also coming into her flowering as a forceful woman leader and advocate in her own right. Their early married life was the forging ground for what is likely to become one of the most admired unions in modern American history, the White House years. When Michelle Obama became First Lady of the United States in 2009, she brought a unique combination of intelligence, warmth, and advocacy to the role. From the very beginning, she focused on using her platform to inspire and uplift communities, particularly in the areas of health, education, and military families. She launched the Let's Move initiative in 2010, a nationwide campaign aimed at reducing childhood obesity by promoting healthier eating and increased physical activity. Through partnerships with schools, food companies, and community organizations, she helped transform school lunch programs, encouraged kids to get active, and even planted a vegetable garden at the White House to promote nutritious eating. Her efforts led to significant policy changes, including the Healthy, Hunger-Free Kids Act, which improved nutritional standards in schools across the country. Beyond health and wellness, Michelle was a fierce advocate for education. She launched the Reach Higher initiative to encourage students, especially those from underserved communities, to pursue higher education and career development. She also created Let Girls Learn, an international program that promoted education for young girls worldwide, working with organizations like the Peace Corps to provide resources and mentorship. Michelle frequently visited schools, engaged with students, and used her own story as a testament to the power of education, reminding young people that their background should not limit their aspirations. Her speeches, such as her 2016 Democratic National Convention speech and her powerful address to young women in London, became defining moments of her tenure, inspiring millions around the world. Intended to be very pertinent to the work she did with military families through the Joining Forces initiative she co-founded with Dr. Jill Biden, Michelle participated tirelessly during her years in the White House in bringing justice and resources to service members, veterans, and their families through employment, healthcare, and education. She worked with businesses and organizations to facilitate more job opportunities for veterans and better support systems for military spouses. Both through visits to military bases or through one-on-one time with service members, as well as through advocacy efforts outside the White House, someone could see her commitment to these families. Touching the hearts of all kinds of people made her one of the most loved First Ladies in history. Her years at the White House were thus further adorned, blending that little bit of elegance with a degree of relatability. While doing that, she also became a global fashion icon, with messages delivered through some of the most promising minority and women designers, but with her feet still on the ground and engaging in fun pop culture moments, from Dancing with Jimmy Fallon, rapping about education, and even singing a little with cameo appearances on kids' shows like Sesame Street. And while she braced herself up to the critics and political pundits, that was how she stood resolutely in continuing her mission of encouraging others. When she once said, "When they go low, we go high." During the election campaign in 2016, her words became a rallying cry for grace and resilience. By the time she left the White House in 2017, Michelle Obama had already transformed the definition of the First Lady, as that concept was associated with legacies of empowerment, advocacy, and inspiration. Motherhood and family life. Motherhood has always been at the center of Michelle Obama's life, even as she balanced her career and public responsibilities. She and Barack Obama welcomed their first daughter, Malia Ann Obama, in 1998, followed by their second daughter, Natasha Sasha Obama, in 2001. From the start, Michelle was determined to provide her daughters with a strong sense of normalcy, despite their father's rising political career. She often spoke about the challenges of balancing work and family, admitting that there were times when she felt stretched thin. However, she prioritized her children's well-being by ensuring they had a stable and loving home environment, even as their father's political journey took them from Chicago to the national stage. Michelle visibly proclaimed during the movement of the Obamas to the White House in 2009 that the work she would be doing was that of a mother. She focused more on creating stability in the lives of Malia and Sasha by domestic rules, chores, and friends outside the political scene. The Sidwell Friends School was the school attended by the girls where presidents tend to send their children. The established norms encouraged the girls, despite living in the most famous house in the country, to remain grounded. Michelle and Barack strictly shield their daughters from the fingertips of the media, rendering them grown up in as much privacy as possible. Teaching it was a virtue, really, and the quality she wanted to instill in her daughters was hard work, kindness, and responsibility. Though Michelle saw to it that her daughters comprehended what it was like for the majority of America, which, in fact, usually did not want the luxuries that her means allowed, they lived in the White House. All instructed her daughters to appreciate differences and provide service while starting to go on trips and exposed to different cultures and social realities. Lessons learned while on travel found her daughters being motivated to pursue their hobbies as they grew older. Malia cultivated her love for film, and Sasha for music and studies. One of those moments in the life of any mother, emotionally for Michelle, associated with Malia to attend 2017 at Harvard University. After leaving the White House, she continued to be intensely present for her girls while supporting their independence in deciding on their paths. She has talked about how she and Barack have embraced the empty nesting but made the most of any time that they can gather as a family. Empty nest life has spurred off a few of those funny stories she'd throw around about how grown-up children have changed and the shift into being less a full-time parent and more a mentor and supporter. Throughout it all, Michelle's devotion to her family has remained strong to affirm that a very public life notwithstanding, for her, motherhood is the most highly valued and considered role. As Michelle Obama embraced motherhood with unwavering dedication, her journey didn't stop there. What she built next would take her influence to a whole new level. Post-White House projects. After leaving the White House in 2017, Michelle Obama wasted no time in expanding her influence beyond politics. She and Barack Obama established the Obama Foundation, which focuses on leadership development, global civic engagement, and empowering young leaders. Through initiatives like the Girls' Opportunity Alliance, she has continued her mission of improving access to education for young women worldwide. She has also remained committed to civic engagement, launching When We All Vote in 2018 to promote voter registration and participation, particularly among marginalized communities. Michelle's efforts in these areas have led to increased opportunities for students, leadership training for aspiring changemakers, and higher voter turnout in crucial elections, reinforcing her status as a leader dedicated to social progress. Michelle has furthermore opened the media and storytelling realms through Higher Ground Productions, the film and television production company co-founded by Barack Obama and Michelle. Award-winning works produced by this company include the Netflix documentary Becoming, which features her life and journey from an inside perspective, and the film Crip Camp, which remembers the tale of the disability rights movement and was nominated for an Academy Award. Her podcast, the Michelle Obama Podcast, which aired its first episode in 2020, has provided her with yet another avenue to connect with audiences. The Michelle Obama Podcast explores topics such as relationships, leadership, and mental health. Through all these activities, Michelle has indeed put storytelling as an instrument of empowerment, shedding light on multiple voices and critical social issues that may otherwise go unheard. More so influential than ever, Michelle Obama continues to remain towards the sharp end of the measuring rod regarding the most influential women in the world. The plethora of appearances and speeches continues to inspire millions, and she advocates for racial equity and women's rights as well as promotes health and wellness. Her autobiography, Becoming, did phenomenally well, selling more than copies around the world, and that served as the testimony of her ability to connect with the audience at a deep level. Her ascent to becoming a best-selling author and thought leader was further cemented with the release of her second book, The Light We Carry, in 2022. With words, actions, and an undying commitment to positive change, Michelle Obama has continued to shape the world again into this next stage. Divorce speculations. Over the years, Michelle and Barack Obama have been the subject of divorce speculations, with rumors surfacing about potential strains in their marriage. As a high-profile couple balancing intense public scrutiny, demanding careers, and the pressures of political life, it's no surprise that their relationship has faced challenges. Michelle herself has been candid about the ups and downs of their marriage, especially during Barack's presidency, when his political commitments often kept him away from home. In her memoir, Becoming, she admitted that there were times when she felt alone in parenting their daughters and managing their household, while Barack was deeply immersed in his work. However, rather than allowing these difficulties to break them apart, they used them as opportunities to strengthen their bond. One of the biggest tests of their marriage came when Barack pursued the presidency, a journey that put an immense strain on their personal lives. Michelle has shared that she was initially hesitant about his political ambitions because she knew it would demand sacrifices from their entire family. Throughout the campaign and his time in office, they worked hard to maintain their connection, often setting aside time for date nights and prioritizing their family life despite their hectic schedules. Michelle has emphasized that their love is not perfect, but rather a product of constant effort, communication, and understanding. She has spoken openly about seeking marriage counseling at one point, not because their relationship was failing, but because they wanted to learn better ways to support and understand each other. Even after parting from the White House, speculation surrounding their relationship continued, the tabloids even alleging that they were drifting apart. But the two have always dismissed these and continue to put up a united front in public appearances, shared projects, and tender messages to one another. They have since been working in synergy on several programs, such as Higher Ground Productions, their media company, and the Obama Foundation, an indication that the partnership goes beyond mere marriage, but actually about their mutual love for change. They often tell each other on social networks and in interviews how much they love and admire one another, adding personal anecdotes and sweet tributes, emphasizing that whatever challenges arise, their bond continues to hold on. Michelle has often said that marriage is about partnership, growth, and resilience. It requires working, she adds, but true love means standing by each other through all the phases in life. Barack and she have built a good marriage with each other based on mutual respect, common values, and true understanding of each other's strengths and weaknesses. They are not shy about showing the world that they can still thrive in public loins despite the pressure that never ends and the constant rumors, proving once again that they have a love story built to last. Not that one does not find times of strife, but the journey of Michelle and Barack is no doubt a testimony to the undeniable strength of commitment, perseverance, and sincerity in commitment. Health, wellness, and fitness journey. Michelle Obama has long been an advocate for health, wellness, and fitness, making it a central part of her personal and public life. As First Lady, she championed healthy living through her Let's Move initiative, which aimed to combat childhood obesity by encouraging better nutrition and increased physical activity. She worked closely with schools to improve meal programs, pushed for clearer food labeling, and even planted a vegetable garden at the White House to promote fresh, homegrown produce. Her efforts led to policy changes such as the Healthy, Hunger-Free Kids Act, which set higher nutritional standards for school meals, impacting millions of children nationwide. Beyond her advocacy, Michelle's personal commitment to fitness has been widely recognized, particularly for her dedication to strength training and maintaining an active lifestyle. Her toned arms became an iconic symbol of her disciplined workout routine, inspiring many to prioritize their own health. She often spoke about her love for exercise, incorporating workouts like weightlifting, cardio, and yoga into her daily routine. Even in the White House, she made time for early morning training sessions with personal trainers and encouraged her staff to stay active as well. She also promoted fitness in fun and engaging ways, such as participating in televised workout challenges and dancing on shows like The Ellen DeGeneres Show to emphasize the importance of movement. After the drama of leaving the White House, Michelle has insisted on continuing her passion for keeping herself and others well, taking her own fitness journey online. One of the things she frequently posts about on social media is her workout, required in between her home gym hours, with a little encouragement to others to come and exercise with her. A quote from her book, Becoming, supports her notion of fitness being a means toward mental clarity and balance, allowing her to cope with pressure and stress due to public life. Having ostentation stood, however, by asserting fortitude to stay fresh and fabulous. Thanks to the luxurious condition of her getting old, health, according to her, is much more than visibility. One needs to feel strength and vigor. As well, she talks holistically concerning her wellness, healthy eating, regular workout, and mind-body alignment. But what Michelle's well-being really cuts across is more than a regimen. It is really the kickstarting of a cultural shift toward healthier living. Whether through her White House initiatives, her continued advocacy on behalf of herself as a citizen, or simply through her example, she has inspired people of all ages, including children, take matters into their own hands when it comes to health. Philanthropy and advocacy. Michelle Obama's approach to philanthropy and advocacy has been deeply personal, driven by her belief in the power of communities and grassroots movements. Rather than focusing solely on large-scale policy changes, she has consistently emphasized the importance of local efforts, mentorship, and direct engagement with those in need. Her commitment to service extends beyond structured initiatives. She has continuously used her platform to amplify the voices of everyday people making a difference, ensuring that advocacy remains accessible and inclusive. A key aspect of her work has been her ability to inspire action across generations. Through candid discussions about perseverance, resilience, and self-worth, she has encouraged individuals, particularly young people and women, to step into leadership roles in their own lives. Whether addressing systemic barriers in education, racial inequality, or gender equity, Michelle has positioned herself not just as a figurehead, but as a relatable role model who understands the challenges many people face. She has also redefined the modern concept of philanthropy by putting storytelling alongside activism to show that raising consciousness can be just as powerful as direct intervention in policies. Sharing her journey has given birth to a movement that centers on empowerment, pressing individuals to take charge of their lives. The outreach is not limited to speeches or organized initiatives. She also interacts with audiences through books, town hall-style public forums, and online platforms that connect a global community of changemakers who feel deeply inspired by her cause. Philanthropy is not just about acting with an eye to immediate results. Indeed, Michelle Obama's definition of advocacy looks far into the future, even at times when the consequences may not be that forthcoming. Time and again, she affirms the need for sustainable solutions instead of quick fixes, supporting programs that empower people in the long run. Whether through education, leadership development, or civics, her influence has reached far beyond her years in the White House, proving that true change does not often come from policy, but rather a steadfast heart-mouthing for the uplift of others. After dedicating years to advocacy and philanthropy, Michelle Obama isn't slowing down. But what's next for her might surprise you. What's next for Michelle Obama? As Michelle Obama continues shaping her post-White House journey, she embraces a path that blends influence with personal fulfillment. Rather than following a traditional political trajectory, she has carved out a space where she can champion meaningful causes on her own terms, engaging in impactful work while prioritizing her well-being, family, and evolving passions. A defining aspect of her future endeavors is her ability to reinvent her influence beyond conventional activism. She has moved beyond structured initiatives and stepped into a role that allows her to inspire through authenticity, relatability, and personal storytelling. Whether through her books, public conversations, or digital outreach, Michelle has become an example of how leadership can exist outside of elected office, one that relies on connection, empowerment, and long-term vision. With a more thoughtful view of her impact, she has recognized that change needs room for personal growth. While advocating for balance between ambition and self-care, she has also become a formidable voice for mindfulness, healthy living, and embracing life's new chapters. As she walks this path of life, she uplifts others too, by exemplifying that change is not a matter of moving from point A to B, but rather becoming a fuller version of oneself, imbued with deeper awareness. An even more decentralized personal engagement and mentoring approach is probably where Michelle Obama's influence will go next. Be it writing, speaking, or working behind the curtain supporting the new generation of leaders, she's been the harbinger of change, reminding us that good leadership is not about being in the office, but about using one voice to empower, inspire, and create a legacy. Michelle Obama's journey reflects a more general cultural trend in how figures in the public eye use the instruments of influence and leadership. In times when structures of traditional authority are being questioned more than ever, she showed that authenticity, rather than political power, can nourish influence. Michelle Obama is part of a much broader trend of actors, from business figures to cultural icons, who gain from personalized storytelling to convert the world. One big factor that distinguishes her influence is her intergenerational and cross-cultural appeal. which reminds us that purpose, not title, defines leadership. The Becoming Book Tour celebrated tens of thousands in stadiums who simply wanted to hear her view on resilience, identity, and personal empowerment. Journalist Gayle King once captured the essence of Obama's appeal when she said in a televised interview, "People don't just see her as a former First Lady. They see her as a woman who has walked through struggles they recognize and come out stronger." It is this charm that has kept her in the minds of millions across the globe, showing us that personal experience and real connections weigh heavier than authority. And that's how Michelle Obama is living now. Her journey continues to inspire and surprise us. What do you think about her new chapter? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on your favorite public figures. And before you go, check out the next video on your screen. You won't want to miss it. Click now and keep watching.